Good evening, everybody. Excuse me. Um, I was going to do this earlier, but I had a lot going on where I couldn't do it. Normally, I'd do this in the morning, but um, but uh, earlier this afternoon, I'd gotten alerts on the WFF48 weather app, first alert weather app, and from Live Alert 19, some of the other apps about the there being a flash flood watch and a wind advisory that's going to be in effect. Well, the flash flood watch is going to be in effect from 6 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night until 9 o'clock a.m. Friday morning, and that's for just about every single county served by the National Weather Service in Huntsville. Uh, and the counties that I'm specifically talking about excuse me, would be Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence, Limestone, Morgan, Coleman, Madison, Marshall, DeKalb, Jackson, and Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties, all in and northwest, north central, and northeast Alabama, and southern middle Tennessee, basically all in North Alabama and southern middle Tennessee. Valley. And it's not just North Alabama that has the flash flood watch in place, and perhaps the wind advisory also have it down towards Tuscaloosa and perhaps even Birmingham and down the Mobile and basically most, not as far as I know, not all the counties in Alabama are under a flash flood watch, but most of the counties in Alabama are under a flash flood watch, and potentially even the wind advisory also. And in case you don't know what that means, it's very simple. It only means that can, that conditions are favorable for the potential and development of flash flooding, and that means that those of you that are in the flash flood watch need to be aware, need to be staying weather aware, and be prepared to take immediate precautions or actions if any flash flooding occurs and if there's warnings that are required or that are issued or needed during the time that it starts and then the time that it's over. Excuse me. And that same thing goes with those in the wind advisory. And it does not mean that more than likely it's pressure gradient winds. So if you're and the wind the wind advisory goes out from midnight tonight through midnight tomorrow night that I'm aware. Let me double check that one more time to be sure. Yeah, the wind advisory. Yeah, the wind advisory, the flash flood watch, first of all, again, is in effect from 6 p.m. tomorrow night until 9 a.m. Friday morning. Now, the wind advisory is in effect from midnight tonight through midnight tomorrow. From midnight tonight until midnight tomorrow night or early Friday morning. So that means if you have any trash cans or any patio furniture or anything, any loose items or anything like that, you need to have them inside or somewhere where they won't be. You need to get them taken care of to where they will not be flying all over the road or something like that. You need to be careful also with their if you're near any if you're near any trees or anything like that. So just keep all that in mind right now. And as far as the rain goes, I've heard multiple things, such as uh, that widespread flash flooding is perhaps, or well, it's pretty likely, it's pretty likely, perhaps 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches of rain is possible, or likely, and, and there could be locally, and there could be locally higher amounts, perhaps 4, 5, or 6 inches, in a number of locations, perhaps even south and east of the area or so, perhaps. It's possible and it's very possible and likely. But the bottom line is everybody that is in a flash flood watch from North Alabama, the parts of Central Alabama, and parts of South Alabama. If you're in a flash flood watch, pay attention. Pay attention to the warning to your local your local radio. Excuse me. Pay very close attention to your local radio or TV station. And if you're on social media, make sure you're following those that are reliable. So just if you're in the Huntsville television market, you can get WHNT News, WHNT News 19, WFF 48, Way 31, and WCDX News. In other words, Channel 54. Or if you're in the Birmingham television market, you get ABC 3340, WBRC Fox 6, CBS or WI 242, and WTVM Channel 13, or WVUA 23. Those are in the Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston Gadsden television market. And for the Montgomery television market, WSFA 12, that's the NBC station, of course, and the Alabama News Network, CBS 8, ABC 32, or something like that, or the Rich Thomas Weather Network, or whatever you want to call it. Those are all in Montgomery. And WALA Fox 10 and I believe it's NBC 15. Those are in the Mobile television market. Bottom line is, if you're in the if you're in the Huntsville television market, the Birmingham television market, or the Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gaston television market, the Montgomery television market, and the Mobile television market. And if you're um, served by if your county or counties are served by the National Weather Service in Huntsville and the National Weather Service in Birmingham and the National Weather Service in Mobile, if, if you're in a flash flood watch, pay extremely close attention for any warnings that could likely be issued, required, or needed tomorrow night and the Friday morning. Be aware of that. And flash flooding is a very dangerous situation and life-threatening situation if you don't take it seriously. And I'm not saying that to scare you, I'm saying that to let you know and to be prepared. And as long as you're prepared for it, you're going to be fine. As far as severe weather goes, while in while in North Alabama severe weather is not expected, there is south of us, like Tuscaloosa, or from Tuscaloosa south towards Mobile. They've got a severe that there is south towards from Tuscaloosa south. Have a possible threat of possible strong to severe storms. Perhaps still in a marginal risk or even a slight risk. But the bottom line is, the severe weather threat for the Tennessee Valley is low. We're not expecting severe weather here in the Tennessee Valley, but from Tuscaloosa south, the threat is there's a possible threat of strong to possibly severe storms. If you're down there, be aware of it. Make sure you're able to get the warning. Have multiple ways of receiving the warnings if they're if they're needed, especially the flash flood warnings if they're needed. I'm not, like I said, I promise you, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm just saying it like it is. You got to be prepared for it. And even if we don't have severe weather, don't ignore any flash flood. Don't ignore any flash flood warnings that might that could likely more than likely be issued tomorrow sometime tomorrow night or Friday morning throughout that flash flood watch that's, like I said, in effect from from 6 p.m. tomorrow night through to 9 a.m. Friday morning. Alright, let me check the time right quick. It's 9:37. Alright. That's all I'm gonna do for now. If I have time, I'll do another video very early in the morning. Excuse me. And I say early in the morning because my mother's going to be having surgery tomorrow morning at Helen Keller Hospital. So if y'all can keep her in the family in your prayers while she has her surgery, that'll be very helpful and very needed. That would be greatly appreciated. I will greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. I love you. Be safe and stay weather aware. Keep my mother-in-law in your prayers. In your prayers, as she has her surgery tomorrow.